Hello, my dear ones. I'm so glad you've joined me today. I want to talk to you about something that has been at the heart of every decision I've made. Something that has shaped the way I live, and something I hope you'll carry with you throughout your journey. The question I'm asking today is simple but profound. What makes a good life? Now, before you think this is going to be a long lecture, don't worry. This is just a conversation between us, a chat over a warm cup of tea, as I share what I've learned in my 80 years of living. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life, but simply to share some stories and lessons that have helped me make sense of my own life. And perhaps they'll help you with yours too. The foundation of a good life. I was raised in a small, humble home. My family wasn't rich in material things, but we were rich in love and in the lessons passed down from generation to generation. My parents weren't perfect, but they gave me something much more valuable than wealth. They gave me a sense of purpose, and they taught me what truly matters in life. My mother, she was a wise woman. She would often sit me down at the kitchen table with a cup of her homemade lemonade and tell me that a good life isn't about what you accumulate or how far you go in life. No, she said, it's about the relationships you build, the love you give, and the kindness you spread along the way. I didn't understand it back then, of course. I was just a young girl dreaming of all the things I wanted to achieve. I wanted to travel, to see the world, and yes, I wanted to be rich too. But as I grew older, I began to see that my mother was right. The good life wasn't defined by a bank account or fancy possessions. It was defined by the love and joy you shared with others. The power of relationships. If you ask me what truly makes a good life, I'd say it's the relationships we build with others. It's the people who love you, the people who stand by you through thick and thin, the people who share in your joys and help you carry your burdens. That's the essence of a good life. I'll tell you a story. After I married Tom, we started a family of our own. Things weren't always easy, especially in the early years. We struggled to make ends meet, and there were days when we felt overwhelmed by the weight of responsibility. But through it all, we had each other. We supported each other through our struggles, we laughed together during our joys, and we made memories that will last a lifetime. I remember when I had to take care of my first child, and I was exhausted beyond belief. There were moments when I felt like I couldn't go on, when I was on the brink of tears, and I would think to myself, is this what a good life is supposed to be like? But then Tom would come home after a long day at work, scoop our baby up in his arms and say, "You've done a great job, Susie. I couldn't have done this without you." And in that moment I knew this was what a good life looked like. It wasn't about perfection. It was about support, love, and showing up for each other no matter what. Embracing life's challenges. You see, a good life isn't always easy. There will be challenges. There will be moments when you feel like you've hit rock bottom, when you wonder if it's all worth it. But those moments, my dear, are part of the journey. They're the moments that build your character and help you grow. It's how you respond to those challenges that define the good life. I learned this lesson the hard way. After losing my father, I went through a period of deep grief. It felt like the world had lost its color, and I wasn't sure how to move forward. But then I remembered something my father always said to me. Suzie, when life knocks you down, you get back up, because the world doesn't stop for you. But if you keep going, you'll find the beauty on the other side. And that's exactly what I did. I picked myself up one step at a time, and slowly I began to see the beauty again, the beauty of life, of relationships, of love. The good life doesn't mean you'll never face hardship, but it means you'll have the strength to face it with grace, resilience, and a belief that tomorrow will bring something new. Finding joy in the everyday. If you want a good life, you must learn to find joy in the little things. I know it sounds cliché, but let me tell you something, it's true. The good life isn't about waiting for that one big moment, that one huge success, or that one perfect day. No, it's about embracing the beauty in the small moments. I'll never forget the simple joy of sitting on the porch with Tom after dinner, watching the sun set. There we were, just two people, tired from a long day, but content in each other's company. Or those mornings when the kids would wake up early, and we'd all gather around the kitchen table for pancakes and laughter. The smell of fresh coffee, the sound of our family stories, and the warmth of love in the air. Those were the moments that made life truly good. I've also learned that a good life is about gratitude. I've spent years learning to appreciate what I have, instead of always wishing for more. I don't need a fancy vacation or a new car to feel fulfilled. I just need to appreciate the beauty of the life I already have. And believe me, the more I practice gratitude, the more I see how blessed I am. Doing what you love. Another thing I've learned is that a good life comes when you do what you love, when you live with purpose. Now, this doesn't mean you always get to follow your dreams right away, but it does mean that you should pursue the things that light up your heart. I always loved cooking, but for years I put it on the back burner, thinking it wasn't practical. But once the kids were older, I started baking again. I would make pies for the neighbors, and Tom and I would have a little baking night where we'd laugh and talk while we made our favorite desserts. That was one of the happiest times of my life, because I was doing something I loved with the people I loved. It didn't matter if I never opened a bakery or became famous for my pies. What mattered was that I was doing what made my soul sing. So, my dear, find what makes your heart come alive and make time for it. Whether it's painting, gardening, writing, or helping others, do what makes you happy and make it a priority. A good life is one that's filled with purpose, passion, and joy. A life well lived. So, what makes a good life? I can tell you, it's not about achieving everything on your to-do list or ticking off all the boxes on your bucket list. A good life is about love, resilience, joy, gratitude, and purpose. It's about the relationships you build, the challenges you overcome, and the joy you find in the everyday. I may not have traveled the world, I may not have amassed great wealth, and I may not have been famous, but when I look back on my life, I am proud of the life I've lived. I've loved deeply, I've laughed often, and I've embraced every moment, no matter how hard it was. And my dear, if you can do the same, if you can live with love, kindness, and purpose, then you too will have lived a good life. So remember this. A good life is not defined by how much you have or how many things you've accomplished. It's defined by how you live, how you love, and how you make others feel. Take a moment today to appreciate the life you have and know that you are already on the path to living a good life. With love, Grandma Suzie. Thank you, my dears, for spending this time with me. Remember, life's journey is better when we walk it together. If these stories and reflections warmed your heart, be sure to subscribe and join me for more wisdom, comfort, and a little sprinkle of joy. Together, let's keep growing one story at a time. Until next time, stay safe, stay hopeful, and remember, you're never alone. Grandma loves you.